Hey, it's everybody, back with another video. This is about Michael Avenatti was $15 million in debt when he sought $25 million in debt from Nike in extortion plot. And this is from the prosecutors. And as you know, Michael Avenatti had got himself into a lot of trouble over the following months because of all his criminal activity. California attorney Michael Avenatti was deeply in debt, owing money to former clients, former law partners, and 2 ex-wives for alimony and child support when he tried to extort $25 million from sports apparel giant Nike, federal prosecutors claim. Yeah, so the federal prosecutors, they said that he was in debt, and it was a $15 million debt. And of course, he's owing money to former clients, former law partners, and 2 ex-wives for alimony and child support on top of that. He tried to extort $25 million from sports apparel giant Nike. And of course, you know, Nike's not going to give him that kind of money. The lawyer who became a national figure when he represented porn actress and stripper Stormy Daniels in her case against President Trump was in errors to the tune of conservatively in excess of $15 million. The authorities assert in court papers filed late Christmas Eve in New York City. So the papers were filed in New York City late Christmas Eve. And of course he tried to excess of $15 million. Of course, that didn't work. He used to be a lawyer for porn actress stripper Stormy Daniels. But they fell out, so he wasn't going to take her case anymore because he used to represent her. But now that he's in a lot of trouble, he's got to have a lawyer for himself to defend him from all this mess. But still, I doubt very much Michael Avenatti is going to get away with anything. So, you know, and of course, they took away one of his luxury airplanes. They took away some other things, too, that he had. Avenatti denied the claims Wednesday when contacted by the Associated Press. So, yeah, he denied the claims. And he claimed that I was $15 million in debt is ridiculous, absurd, and laughable, the 48-year-old attorney said. I look forward to the upcoming trial at which time I will be exonerated and the truth will be known. Well, being exonerated? No, he won't. He's saying that it's ridiculous, absurd, and laughable. And of course, he also claimed that I was $15 million in debt is ridiculous, absurd, and laughable. He also says, I look forward to the upcoming trial at which time I will be exonerated and the truth will be known. What kind of truth are we talking about here? That he thinks he's going to get exonerated. I mean, he did what he did. He stole money from people. I mean, it's totally wrong. And of course, you know, and he claimed that I was, and of course, here is Michael Avenatti himself in the screenshot, who had done everything what he had done to people. The case is the first of 3 scheduled trials the embattled Avenatti will face over the next 5 months. In each case, he has denied all the charges against him. So he's denying all these charges against him, and he thinks he's going to get out of it, but nah, not going to happen. Lawyers for Avenatti claim he was seeking $15 million to $20 million from Nike to conduct an internal investigation into the company following allegations linking to linking it to improper payments to high school athletes and coaches, the AP reported. So Avenatti lawyer said that he was seeking between 15 to 20 million dollars from Nike to conduct an internal investigation into the company. Well, and of course, the following allegations linking to improper payments to high school athletes. Now, what kind of evidence would Michael Avenatti have? I mean, come on. He says well, I'm going to expose everything that you have done. Expose what? What is there to expose? Avenatti's lawyer claimed that Nike's legal team expressed interest in such a probe, which can cost companies more than $100 million, according to a New York Times story that Avenatti's lawyers cite in their court documents. So allegedly, that there are documents that Michael Avenatti said he was going to put out. All right, so where are those papers? I want to see them. And of course, Avenatti's lawyers claim that Nike's legal team expressed interest in such a probe. Okay, what probe are we talking about? I mean, seriously, this does not look right on Michael Avenatti's case because he got caught with everything you can think of. Avenatti also plans to argue that Nike, facing federal scrutiny over the possible improper payments to athletes, had motivation to aid authorities, as they also targeted someone against whom the leader of the executive branch had expressed disdain. So Avenatti is planning to argue that Nike, facing federal scrutiny over the possible improper payments. So what kind of improper payments are we talking about here? I mean, what, maybe $5 million something or something? I mean, Michael Avenatti needs to go sit somewhere for real, because he is not in his right mind right now, and he thinks, oh, I'm going to prove that Nike did this and did that. What is there to prove? Nike is a giant company, and of course a lot of sneakers, clothes, anything you could think of that are bought by people. Before Avenatti and Daniels ended their lawyer-client association in March, Avenatti and Trump frequently traded accusations against one another in public statements. Avenatti had represented Daniels, aka Stephanie Clifford, in connection with her claim of a past extramarital affair with Trump, a claim that the president has denied. Well, yeah, I don't know why Donald Trump is in the middle of this mess, because this is not about him. But Stormy Daniels and Avenatti, yes, they ended their lawyer-client association in March. And so Avenatti and Trump frequently traded accusations against one another in public statements. So they were saying, oh, well, he did this, he did that, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Stormy Daniels' real name is Stephanie Clifford. And of course, it was in connection with her claim of a past extramarital affair with Trump. Well, first of all, Donald Trump and Melania Trump, they have been married for 14 years. I mean, this is the longest that Donald Trump had ever stayed in a marriage. But they always wanted to make it about him, but this is not about him in the Avenatti case. This is about Michael Avenatti himself. In addition to the Nike case, Avenatti faces an April trial over allegations that he stole $300,000 from Daniels and and a May trial over allegations that he stole millions from clients to pay personal and business expense and lied to the IRS, and a Mississippi bank about his financial history. I'm sorry. Yeah, so he's got an April trial coming, um, and over the allegations that he stole $300,000 from Daniels, and of course May coming up. There's allegations that he stole millions from clients to pay personal and business expenses and lied to the IRS. And first of all, it is wrong to lie to the IRS, because once they find out one teeny weeny little detail, say goodnight to your home, they'll freeze your bank accounts, everything, and they do not care because they do not want to hear nothing out of you. You could tell them your sob story. The IRS does not play around. And of course, a Mississippi bank about his financial history. So, he's got all this against him right now. But whatever Michael Avenatti does, he better watch his step. He better take some responsibility for some of this mess that he's done. But like I said, the IRS does not play around. Once they get you, say goodnight. You're not going to get nothing until you pay every cent back. Leave your comments below. I am out.